It probably doesn't seem like you're always swamped, does it? Not working. I wonder what you're doing. My mother-in-law did this to me every day. She is 70 years old, and all she can do in life is to be hateful. Or maybe it is because of her age that she starts being this mean to me little by little. So far, the elderly people I've met have either been very kind or very nasty, with no in between, so that might be why I think this way. My name is Molly, a 45-year-old housewife. I live in my husband's family home. We have a daughter who is already a third-year university student. As our daughter attends a university far away, she lives in a dormitory. She chose to move into a strict dormitory over an apartment because she wanted to avoid being a burden to us. So now, living in the family home are my mother-in-law, husband, me, and my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law is 50, older than me, and is not married. Well, in other words, she's someone who earns money but prefers to live rent-free with her parents. She spends all her earnings on herself and seems to plan on living off her mother's pension. She does occasionally contribute to household expenses, but that's only about $100. But maybe it can't be helped that she can only contribute that much because she's just a part-time worker. She apparently started working full-time for a small company after graduating high school, but she caused some trouble at work and ended up quitting. Actually, I think she might have been forced to quit work. Then, finding full-time work bothersome, she started working part-time. So she is exactly what you'd call a part-timer, and so she's been idling along and reached this age. I think it's fine that she's unmarried and works part-time, as long as she doesn't bother anyone else. But my sister-in-law looks down on me and speaks in a condescending manner. She belittles and looks down on me for doing housework during the day. Being capable of nothing but housework, how incompetent. Can't you even work any part-time jobs? You're at the bottom of society. Well, I don't mind being at the bottom. You quit your old job, didn't you? You probably caused some sort of problem, didn't you? Excuse me? My sister-in-law, despite having caused problems at her own company, had the audacity to say that to me. I didn't quit my former job due to any issues, so I denied it. I haven't done anything. Unlike you, I'm not malicious. What did you say? What are you talking about? I gave advice to my colleague for his sake, then he claimed that he was mentally drained, making me out to be the bad guy. Ah, is that so? Knowing my sister-in-law, she probably showed a very intimidating attitude. I ended up feeling sorry for her colleague. If someone like her were at a company, it would be troublesome. Perhaps it's good that she left. She really is an unpleasant sister-in-law. I hate my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my husband. I've refrained from divorcing my husband at this age, though the thought of divorce often crosses my mind. All of them are nasty and have twisted personalities, so dealing with them is exhausting. One night, my mother-in-law seemed to wake up to go to the toilet and, seeing a light in my room, she peeped in. "You're awake at this hour. What are you doing?" "I'm working." Working, huh? It's not like you can do much from home." "Okay. Well, do your best, I guess. I work from home. I am busy with housework during the day, so I often work at night. Also, the quiet of the night makes it easier to get work done. There are even some renowned writers who do their writing in the middle of the night, so I believe there must be a certain number of people who become active at night. I am certainly one of them. Then, after a while, a serious situation developed. It turned out that my mother-in-law had overspent her savings and was on the brink of bankruptcy. Upon hearing the story, I found out that she was $140,000 in debt. Oh, what am I going to do? $140,000. I don't want to be bankrupt. Well, but $140,000 is a lot of money. Maybe it would be better to file for bankruptcy. Hey now, you can pay for it. You used to earn a lot when you were younger, right? You had a salary of $56,000 at that major company, didn't you? Huh. Oh, well, yes, I did. That's why I'm counting on you. Indeed, I have been working hard. When I was younger, I was what you would call a career woman, earning more than many men. I really didn't want to, but I agreed to pay off the debt under one condition, that my mother-in-law would take care of the house chores. I would handle the heavy lifting chores, but I thought I'd have her do the dishes and simple cleaning. If she did that, I, a night owl, might be able to concentrate on my work during the day with headphones on. I proposed this to my mother-in-law, and she quickly agreed, and so I repaid the $140,000 debt in full. Phew, all that work is tiring. Mom, are you okay? Oh yes, I'm fine, but you know, that daughter-in-law of mine is working me to the bone. She said that since she's paying off my debt, I have to do a lot of housework. She's using me like her slave, making me work so hard at my age. That's terrible. What's wrong with her? Hey, Molly. Yes, what is it? You're awful, abusing your mother-in-law like that. How can you treat an elderly woman like that and feel good about it? No, I'm not overworking her. I'm just asking her to do simple house chores. That's not true. She's making me carry heavy laundry clothes and buy lots of groceries. See? She's saying that. This is called abusing elderly people. What? I never asked her to do such a thing. Be quiet. You're the one who took advantage of my weakness and proposed this deal. You say you want to work during the day with headphones on, but you're not even making money, are you? You quit a good company. You're just a housewife. No, you're just a slave. That's right. Don't get ahead of yourself. You're not even earning decent money, yet you talk about work. People like you who don't earn much should get out. I got it. I was saddened. I truly wasn't demanding any unreasonable housework. However, my mother-in-law, in an attempt to portray herself as a poor old lady, would intentionally stumble along and carry heavy things. My sister-in-law, upon seeing this, got the wrong idea that I was making her do so. I realized I have been tricked by my mother-in-law. Even when I told my husband about this, he didn't say anything. I was done with my husband too. When I asked my daughter, who lives far away, if I could divorce, she said I should do it quickly. So I made up my mind to divorce and filed for it. And I started packing my belongings. Since I wasn't told to leave immediately, I thought I'd take only what I needed from my things in the house. Then the moving day came. First, I had all my belongings loaded into the moving van. The furniture that I bought when I was single, which I cherished, and the home appliances that I bought were all loaded into the van. My mother-in-law and her family were making a huge fuss. Why are you taking the vacuum cleaner too? You should leave this here. No, because I bought it with my money. What are you talking about? It's a family thing, isn't it? But I was the only one using the vacuum cleaner. Oh, I also need to take the microwave and the oven. Stop it. What are you doing? Well, I bought these with my savings, so it's okay, right? I think you should buy a new one. My husband too was also saying things like, stop taking the bookshelf. But even that bookshelf was originally mine. He had only been using it as he pleased and occupying it, so I removed all of his books and had it moved. As a result, there was hardly any furniture left in my in-laws' house. All that was left was the dining table in the living room, the sofa, and the bed. Even the dressers of my mother-in-law and sister-in-law were ones that I bought for them, so I thought I would take them and sell them. I thought I might get a little money if I took them to a recycle shop. Then the police arrived. My mother-in-law and the rest of the family didn't expect any police at their home. However, the real drama was about to start. Why the police? Don't tell me you've done something. No, I haven't done anything unlike you. What do you mean? Well, unlike you, I haven't committed a crime. You remember, don't you? What? My mother-in-law got quiet. In reality, The reason for my mother-in-law's debt was due to an endless pyramid scheme. She was forcibly recruiting her friends and acquaintances to join the scheme, utilizing malicious tactics. She herself was buying a lot of their products. I had wondered why there were so many cardboard boxes in the house. When I opened them, they were all suspicious items. There were teas and supplements that I didn't know were really good for health, as well as pots and pans. Among them, the most expensive items were crystal balls and bracelets. Apparently, having these crystal balls and bracelets is supposed to bring good luck. My mother-in-law blindly believed in the organization and was buying their products endlessly. There's no way one can become lucky with these things. On the contrary, it would only increase the debt. That's probably why she ended up spending $140,000. It was a foolish thing to do on her end. No, let me go. I didn't forcefully recruit anyone. Whoa, we have evidence that you did. We even have recordings and videos. No way. Stop. What are you going to do with an old lady like me? This is called elderly. There's no young or old in crime. Regardless of age, those who do wrong get arrested. Now get in the car. No, Mom, stop. Don't take her away. Like that, my mother-in-law was taken away by the police. After confirming that she was taken away, I drove off. The place I arrived at was my new residence. It's a bit small, but it's enough space for one person. My daughter will probably only come to visit me occasionally, so I don't need a large apartment, and thus, my new life began. However, I really want to get back that $140,000, so I thought I would have to pressure my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law, having been fined less than $3,000 for fraud, must be feeling the pressure mentally. I decided to add to that pressure. My mother-in-law, who couldn't even pay the fine, seemed to have sold the house reluctantly, probably because neither her daughter nor my ex-husband would even pay the fine of less than $3,000. Although I didn't want to, I decided to visit my mother-in-law again and tell her that I wanted my money back. After all, it's not like I was happy to give her the $140,000, and I was deceived by her after paying the amount. So I went to the house of the relatives who were taking care of my mother-in-law's family. What are you here for? You sold the house, didn't you? So you still have money, right? Huh? Oh, well, yes I do. How much do you have? Please be honest. The land of the house together made $140,000. It was a good location, so it sold for that price even though it's old. Oh, in that case, I'll have you return the $140,000. The $140,000 that I paid. What? That's impossible. I was saving it for a new apartment. Oh, you're going to buy a new apartment. How dare you, despite still doing wrong things. Huh? What wrong things? Aren't you having an affair with Mr. Brown from the neighborhood? I heard it from a gossip-loving lady. Oh, wait a minute. My mother-in-law was widowed after the death of her husband. Indeed, her husband passed away when she was 60. I understand that she might be lonely, but I think it's questionable to lay a hand on a married man from elsewhere. Well, that man, Mr. Brown, is a 75-year-old elderly man. I guess they both must be pretty energetic. I have a video here as proof. Would you like to watch it? A bit. All right, I'll play it then. Ignoring my mother-in-law's voice, I started playing the video on my phone. The video shows my mother-in-law and Mr. Brown having a dirty conversation and doing strange things. Why on earth are they doing it in broad daylight on a road where people pass by? I thought it was embarrassing to be over 70 and not have any discretion. If you return the $140,000, I'll keep quiet about this to Miss Brown. So what will you do? Considering the cost of paying compensation is cheaper than paying you $140,000, it's better if Miss Brown finds out. Indeed, the compensation is only a few $1,000s, so it's much cheaper than giving me $140,000. With that in mind, I shoved several photos in front of my mother-in-law. I had printed the photos from my phone at a store earlier on. Oh really? So even with these, you can still say that. Let's say hypothetically the compensation is $7,000 per person. 10 people would be $70,000, and 20 people would be $140,000, right? The number of married men you've been involved with is 30, isn't it? No. You're very energetic, even though you were acting so weak in front of me. Being able to date 30 people at the same time, what a femme fatale. And all of them are married men. How scary. You're quite something. That's right. It wasn't just Mr. Brown, who my mother-in-law was involved with. Incredibly, she was dating almost all of the men in the neighborhood. Moreover, all of them were married and still had their spouses. How can she manage to date 30 people at the same time, I wonder? Maybe she had it arranged like this person on Monday, this person on Tuesday, and so on. She is truly a terrifying old woman. Could you return the $140,000 to me if you don't want this to get out? I'll pay. So please don't say a word. I beg you, please forgive me. Understood. Then I expect $140,000 by next Friday. You can break it up into multiple transfers. That would be fine. Yes, I understand. I promise I'll repay. Thus, I returned home with a great sense of satisfaction, and indeed, my mother-in-law returned the $140,000 in several installments. But it wasn't over yet. I sent photos to those wives. Of course, the photos showed their husbands with my mother-in-law being together. This way, my mother-in-law's misdeeds became well known throughout the neighborhood. How could you expose me like that? You said you wouldn't say anything. I didn't say anything. Instead, I sent letters. Since I didn't directly say anything to them person to person, it's okay, right? Stop quibbling. You deceived me. Now everyone is calling me a dirty old woman. What are you going to do about it? I'm being sued for damages. It's hell. What then? Can't you pay from your pension, your daughter's part-time job income, and your son's salary? Let's all work hard together to pay it off. I'll be cheering for you. Keep it up, keep it up. Are you making fun of me? I feel terrible now. I have no future. Well, since you were already sinking in debt, your future was over from the beginning, right? So whatever happens from here on out is fine. This is a new start to your life. It's great that you started in a debt of hell. Why did this have to happen? It's because you're a curse. I'm fine, I'm a curse. Thank you for driving such a curse away. Thanks to you, I can now live a stress-free life. In the end, my mother-in-law had to pay damages to the wives. Naturally, she couldn't manage it alone, so she ended up using the money from her daughter's part-time job and her son's salary. As a result, they ended up in poverty. I heard that they were even ostracized by their relatives and driven out. I have no idea where they're living now. As for me, I'm still working from home. Currently, I'm programming. I had a different job when I was younger, but now I'm really into this. I find peace working in the quiet hours of the night. Just the thought of not having to be in that hellish in-laws house anymore brings me so much happiness. From now on, I plan to save money for my own sake and for when my daughter gets married someday.